Hello everyone, here's my review for Ready or Not. So this is a movie I've actually been meaning to watch for a little bit. I always felt like I heard that it was a fun film, and I can now say that it is kind of fun. This film was directed by the duo from Radio Silence. I believe their names are Tyler Gillett and Bettinelli Olpin. Probably butchering the pronunciation of their last names, but their style is one that I like. I enjoyed Scream 5 and 6. I know those films are a little bit divisive, but I actually like them quite a bit. And I think the this duo from Radio Silence actually does pretty well in blending horror and comedy. And they did that with Ready or Not. Before I get into that, I want to actually discuss one thing about this film that I liked a lot that I did not expect to, and that was some of the acting. Some of these performances are absolutely magnetic. Samara Weaving is great in the main role, which isn't too surprising, but Henry Czerny as Tony, who is the father of the Dumas family, and the woman who plays Emily, I know her last name is Scrofano, but I'm blanking on her first name at the moment, is also really good. Czerny and Scrofano both have roles that require them to take their characters seriously, but also be these larger than life, ridiculous figures, and I think they both nailed it. And then Samara Weaving has to sort of balance the comedy of the situation she's in with the terror of the situation she's in, and I think she did that pretty well. All three of those performances are magnetic, and I think they're part of the glue that holds this film together. And as with Scream 5 and 6, I haven't seen Radio Silence's other films, but as with those two movies, Ready or Not is pretty visually well done. The color palette is interesting. It's very like yellow green, sort of dark green, pale yellow, brown, which is really interesting. It's a bit more of a natural color palette, and the camera work is solid as well. But overall, I think Ready or Not just works as a fun, entertaining horror comedy. And when it comes to horror comedy, I think your main goal is simply to be entertaining. And Ready or Not definitely accomplishes that. Tony and Emily, the two characters played by Henry Czerny and the woman whose last name is Scrofano, that I'm blanking on the first name of, are wildly entertaining villains. There's a gag where Emily is on cocaine and keeps accidentally killing people, and it's actually quite funny. The story gives you just enough to get invested in Grace's character, who is the protagonist of the film. It does. I wish it dug a little bit deeper because it hints at some interesting themes, but I think as is, the film functions perfectly fine. I just wish they went a little further with what they were trying to do with her character, specifically about her backstory. The film moves fast, which is great, I think, again, for horror comedy, when your main goal is just to be entertaining. Moving fast is really important, so I get why they didn't go in deeper to her backstory, because it's also a pro for the film, being only an hour and a half and moving basically lightning fast without feeling like it's moving too fast. But Radio Silence has some fun with the gore, which they kind of did with their Scream films, but this is in much more of a comedic way. They play with their kills in some funny ways, and that makes for a pretty entertaining film overall. You also get enough on Grace and her fiance to care about them and make their relationship fairly interesting. It's basic, but it is intriguing by the end of the film. So with that, I'm going to give Ready or Not a 7 out of 10. It was entertaining. I'm going to go see the second one regardless. I know it's been a little bit hit or miss with people, but I'm still curious to see it, although I'm not quite sure where they're going to go with the second one after the end of this one. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.